Previously on Zubatticus.
So when is your Horizon Zero Dawn review coming?
I definitely plan to make one, but have yet to actually play it. It's definitely on my backlog, and I've heard good things about it. Yeah, I'm a little late on this one. I've been avoiding Horizon Zero Dawn for a while now, mostly because every game has an open world these days for some fucking reason, and it took a while with all the awesome releases that came out last year. But excuses are over, I said I would, and thankfully, I was quite surprised. For those of you who are even more out of the loop than me, Horizon Zero Dawn takes place in the far post-apocalyptic future. Machines roam the Earth and humanity has regressed to a tribal state. Our main character is... Ugh. Yeah, her name is stupid and puts a bad taste in my mouth, so for my sanity, I'm just gonna pretend it's a shitty millennial spin-off of the name Allison. Anyway, she's orphaned at birth and an outcast from her tribe because everyone's an asshole. However, a non-asshole named Ross takes care of her and teaches her all about hunting. On one excursion, she finds some ancient technology that lets her see with the video game UI. Cue the training montage so she can prove herself in a competition and be accepted by the tribe so she can learn answers about her parents. On the day of the competition, she comes across a dickhead rival and a new friend, but their proving gets ambushed. Both Ross and the new characters introduced get the axe. So she sets off to find the killers and avenge her tribe, / learn about her past, / explore the world. You get the idea by now. This was an amazing way to kick off the game. Horizon definitely hinted at some serious shit going down, but killing off what seemed like would-be important characters made the event that much more impactful and gives the narrative some real stakes early on. Guerrilla Games also crafted an intricate and fascinating world which makes venturing out from humble beginnings all the more gripping. Discovering the truth behind humanity's downfall is captivating despite being, well, pretty obvious. Like no shit, robots did it, but Horizon Zero Dawn executes the how portion in a way that's both inspiring and depressing all at once. The game is also gorgeous and improves the atmosphere even more. Seeing all the different robots in their respective packs throughout the different biomes gives each area a sense of significance, and the different cultures of the tribes are fleshed out and believable, assuming they get any spotlight whatsoever. The desert and jungle tribes of Meridian obviously worship the sun because of all their exposure to those lovely UV rays, while the isolated Nora tribe, where Aloy is from, has a legitimate reason for fixating on mother figures. But saying any more would venture into spoiler territory. I wish the other tribes could have been given a similar level of detail, but I'm pretty sure they're being saved for the DLC, which I haven't played, or the sequel that's pretty much inevitable. I love this game's world, however, the experience feels kind of lonely. If there was one major flaw with Horizon's story, it's the characters. With the exception of Aloy because she's the protagonist and the black dude from Fringe, the only notable character is Nil, the bandit-killing psychopath. Everyone else is painfully bland and forgettable, which is a disservice to such a fantastic setting. Hell, the audio and hologram recordings of humans from the past are more interesting than any living character. Did personality die along with society? What the fuck's the problem here? Everyone in Horizon Zero Dawn feels so by the book, which is the opposite of the world that's ambitious and interesting, so it doesn't really mesh together. Even Aloy is kinda meh for a main character, although that more has to do with her fitting into the whole open world thing. The problem is her motivations lack focus, which makes her hard to read. Does she want to avenge her tribe? Does she want to find her mom? Does she want to help everyone and save the world? Oh, it's all of the above, which conveniently aligns with the main quest. Cool. You're also given the option to decide how Aloy handles situations by either being aggressive, kind, or smart, but all that does is muddle her personality even further so the player can project themselves onto her. Aloy had potential, but isn't written very well because she's caught in between a defined character like Geralt from The Witcher to a full-on role-playing protagonist like Commander Shepard from Mass Effect. The end result is it feels like the world works around her rather than her working in the world. To Horizon's credit, they mostly nailed down the gameplay side of things. Aloy only has a spear, a bow, and a few other tools to take down these death machines. This means you have to use every trick in the book. Traps, shooting machines as weak points, busting out your inner wild Pokemon knowledge, and using elemental attacks and attacking from tall grass, the list goes on. The game forces you to experiment, but does so in a seamless way because there are so many options that cater to different playstyles as well. I'm one of those people who will do the same thing over and over again if it keeps working. But Horizon manages to keep shaking things up by bringing new enemies and weapons into the mix. Each enemy has a trick to it that you genuinely want to figure out, because God knows you don't want to take out Thunderjaws the same way you tried before you realized you could use their own guns against them. The challenge in Horizon is usually just right too. Enemies will knock off huge chunks of health with each strike, so getting reckless is a quick way back to your last checkpoint. It's safe to say Horizon has one of the best starting difficulty curves in a game that I've ever played. Just when you think you've figured out a group of machines, the game introduces more and you get bodied. So it's back to the drawing board to figure out how to take out this new threat. Okay, now for the one big caveat. All that glowing praise I mentioned, it really only applies to the early and mid game. Horizon can't finish as strong as it starts for a couple of reasons. First, the novelty of the new machines wears off and they're just a few short of rounding out the enemy variety. Also, no unique last boss. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what that is. Every time I think of a game that doesn't have a unique last boss, I get this coughing fit and have to force it into every conversation. The second reason is just the basic you leveling up and getting skills that make the game easier. Once you get the improved heavy attack knockdown skill, all mid-sized enemies and below become a cakewalk because you just knock them down, critical attack, and repeat until they're dead. Same goes for progressing and being able to override stronger and stronger machines to fight on your behalf. Basically, all the strategies you have at your disposal get bottlenecked into a handful of your favorites, and the overall experience goes downhill over time. While the main story missions are pretty good since they're connected to important characters and whatnot, the side missions are hit or miss. But at least the game has the common courtesy to give you an effective tier list by straight up calling the shittier, skippable missions errands. Like, who the hell wants to do errands in general anyway? The devs might as well have just called it filler and it would have been the same fucking thing. But for the more important missions, they're also really all over the place in terms of quality. Many are your standard fare of go find a lost idiot or kill something because this game can't be too short. Others are really interesting, like save a prince with the help of a side character who doesn't get nearly enough screen time. And a few are this.
This little device will summon more machines. A lot easier than killing you myself.
All joking aside, Horizon Zero Dawn is honestly a good game. It starts off really strong, but like this simile, it has trouble finishing. Even if the late game isn't very thrilling, I still happily sunk many hours before it got to that cooling point. Horizon Zero Dawn gets a B. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I know I'm really late on this one, so think of it as a chance to spark discussion for those of you who have played it. I don't know. I just kind of review games as I play them, honestly. But feel free to tell me your thoughts on either the game or the video. Thanks for watching. I've got some more videos in the work as well, so I'll see you later.